This week on This Too Shall Pass, who am I? I have 5 kids that I raise on one income. No one is paying for us to get around. No one is paying my ridiculous car bill or my rent or my mortgage. My son turned 16 in a couple months. I got to buy him a car and my insurance is going to go up. And I just got a discount because I turned 30. Sorry, I can't even read it through the tears. I'm going to get this together. I'm not going to cry every time. Welcome to the This Too Shall Pass podcast. Trust me, I know life can be. This is an inclusive space for our stories and lessons to be heard and learned from without judgment, because this too shall pass. I'm going to go ahead and read one Apple review before we get started. It is from One Love 719. She said, "Love listening to your episodes. I've listened to them all so far." Thank you. The one with your children was my favorite so far. I think it's great that you include them. You ask them great questions. They had great responses. It sounds like you are doing a great job, Ariel, and I think you should know that. Your son, too, made me tear up. And I loved his vulnerability and realness he gave. I can relate to some aspects, and I cannot wait to continue to listen to what is still to come. You're doing great. Thank you so much. Again, the username that left this message was OneLove719. Vulnerability with my kids. I think it's something you guys like or enjoy looking at because it's maybe not that normal. And I know it wasn't normal for me. I was very much so raised, a child to be seen and not heard. There's a children's table, go sit over there. Or, as us moms, we get frustrated and sometimes we yell, "Everyone, shut the fuck up." No one ever wants to hear their children or hear their opinions or hear their thoughts. And I've tried as best as I can to always make sure my kids had a voice. That voice is not always positive. That voice is not always kind. But I do want to make sure that they have a voice and it is heard in whatever fashion or facet it comes out at that moment. I'd rather take the time to correct them and say, "Hey, we could have said that a little nicer," or, "Hey, that was a little mean," or, "Hey, don't say that right now," rather than making them feel like they have to be quiet at all times and not give me their real opinion. There are plenty of times when we go somewhere, I tell them, "Hey, soak it all in and let me know your true opinions when we get back in the car." Because I don't want them to say, "Dang, it's stinking here," or, "Oh, did you see that lady's, dress," or, "I don't like your food." They're still their opinions and they still want to say them. Sometimes I'll just make them tell me when we get back in the car so we're not judged out loud or outside in public. But they do always give me their opinions and I do appreciate it. It gets harder when they get older because then their opinions are more detailed. Like, "I don't like how you spoke to me," instead of, "I really wanted to go outside." As they get older and they develop more, their brains develop more, their vocab grows, sometimes their opinion is hurtful, but it's still their opinion. Something I've started new at home is it's a little shoebox and has a cut hole in it. Think of the 90s Valentine's Day boxes from back in the day. You used to bring them to school and all your friends give you their little Valentine's Day cards. And on the front of this little shoebox, it says, "I love you, Mom, but," and then it has 3 dots after it. So that's to let them know, or to let me know that I know they love me, and to let them know that I know they love me, but they have a critique, or but they'd like to say something. They don't have to write their name on it. They think that makes it anonymous because they haven't written their name on it. But as a mom, their handwriting, so I know exactly who it came from. And I know Terrell cannot spell because he doesn't put the E on the end. So I already know who it came from, but it gives them some, they think no one knows who it is if they put it in there. So I've gotten a lot of crucial critiques as a mom. Nothing to cry home about, but there's some that's like, "Hey, I don't like how you spoke to me when someone broke your vase. It really wasn't me." And there's some that's like, "Hey, it was me that colored on the wall, but I didn't mean to. My paper moved and I won't do it again." So it's just little moments that I think they don't feel comfortable maybe saying it out loud to the group. The group is all of the kids because then all of the kids can give their opinion. But it gives them a time to come back to me in silent or in private and just tell me their thoughts. Because when you yell who did it, it's almost natural to lie. It's natural for everyone to say, "Was it me?" But damn it, there's only 6 of us here and I didn't do it. So one of y'all did it and everyone will say not me. So it's nice sometimes when I get those little messages that says it was me. I did this, or I dropped this, but I was too nervous to say it, or, oh, I know you were really mad, or, oh, I know that was really important to you and I didn't know how to say it. So that's something new that we've started. I enjoy it. I don't read it every day. Usually I try to do it on the weekends or Sunday before I go to church so I can pray about it and not be my maddest self when, you get the honest truth. But my kids' honesty is probably something I hold near and dear to my heart. It's something I know I didn't feel like I had a big voice as a child. I really felt like children were less than adults. They are less than, but only like financially. But I really do think and know your children have feelings. They're gonna fall in love. They have opinions. They have likes and dislikes. And it's just how it goes. They are people. And I try my hardest not to live through my children. I just try to let us all live together, and hopefully we can keep a lot of love and consistency along the way if no one feels shamed for being themselves. So, like I stated in the beginning, this episode is a life update, and I want to chime in and say I'm sorry for the pause. You'll probably hear that in another episode. Maybe that just means I'm really sorry, but life has been lifing for everyone involved. And I think that's okay sometimes. And it's okay for people to get busy and schedules overlap and no one holds a grudge and no one is upset. We are trying our best. I am trying my best, but I am moving with 5 kids and it is a lot and everyone has a lot going on. But I hope you do have a good and happy holiday season. Even if it's not as big or it's different, as long as there's happiness and peace and you do it around a table and setting where people love you and the feelings are consistent, I think you deserve that. Who am I? I can tell you what I'm not. I don't think I'm better than any of you guys. I don't think that I'm on the internet to play the victim card. I really just wanted to use my voice in a purposeful way to tell my story because I felt like I didn't have an open window or anyone to relate to when I was first searching on social media. I probably talk about my flaws more than I do my perfections because I feel like it makes me relatable. It keeps me down to earth. It keeps me humble. And that's the honest truth. I have 5 kids that I raise on one income. No one is paying for us to get around. No one is paying my ridiculous car bill or my rent or my mortgage. My son turned 16 in a couple of months. I got to buy him a car and my insurance is going to go up. And I just got a discount because I turned 30. Now we're going back the other way. I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it for anything. I just would like to see that I'm maybe not that abnormal that the family that I'm raised with makes me feel like. Everyone deserves a circle. And I don't think anyone can win alone. And I think that saying of being the black sheep is very lonely. All the other sheep are white. All the other sheep have something in common. All the other sheep can look and see representation in their surroundings. Everyone deserves to feel included. So if I am the black sheep, then I'm going to go find other black sheeps so that I can see positive representation that, hey, she's a single mom and she's doing a damn good job and she opened this business. Or, hey, she's a single mom before and she figured out a way to get her kids in daycare. Or, hey, she's a single mom before and she figured out how to file for child support and get her, mental health back together. It doesn't help me sitting in a home of married women. Everyone's happy and I am crumbling inside. Birds of a feather fly together, but you got to learn to fly first. And if no one in my surroundings, no one in my inner circle has been through anything close to what I've gone through, I instantly feel excluded whether you said so or not. Because there's no way you can relate to me. So, I'm going to do It's Above Me. So, like I said in the beginning, this is just a segment that I will tell you a situation where I feel like I was lost or it just didn't make any sense or I wanted to scream and maybe I didn't because, maybe I was at work or I had to keep it together for the moment, but I get to be relatable with you guys and tell you how I really feel and be honest. So I'm going to tell you a story. I remember there was one summer camp and my mother was good for finding somewhere for us to go because you were not going to sit in Patricia Brown's house all summer. You had to go somewhere. This lady put us in computer camp, golf camp, math camp, Girl Scout camp. I was not a Girl Scout and I told them I wasn't. I had no badges. They still took me. I remember we had to cook in the morning in this Girl Scout camp. I purposefully burnt the eggs because I thought they would say, send that little black girl home. I burned all of the eggs that morning thinking, I was crossing my fingers they would call my mom to send me home. They called my mom. She showed up. She pinched me. She told me I need to get it together. And then she still left me there for the rest of the week. And then I had to learn to be friends with the girls that I burnt their eggs on purpose. But situations like that, nowadays, a kid is expelled or a kid is, asked to not come back or says they are disrespectful or rude because they ask why. I think it is beautiful and positive and inquisitive to ask questions, to not always be so comfortable just because an adult tells you what to do. The Bible actually says, be more like children if you want to be welcomed into my gates. They're honest. They're kind. No one has to teach a 2-year-old to be mean. They do it by themselves because they want to. And then they're nice by themselves when they want to. But it's honest and it's wholesome and it's not done with hatred or manipulation or vengeance. I just think children deserve the right to be kids. And damn it, if I'm paying weekly for a summer camp, I want my son to go outside more than 2 hours of a 9-hour shift. When it comes to my ex-husband, I have thrown my hands up to ever accepting the fact that he will actually pay his weekly child support on time, because he won't. He's going to nickel and dime me, play the minimum, work lower end salary jobs so he can possibly get the option to get it dropped and then still not pay it when it's even at its lowest. My best advice to anyone going through the court system, whether that is domestic violence, restraining orders, child support, stay on their ass. If you don't make your case important to you, it's not important to nobody. You will always be another, tick on the board. We're not the only people looking for help. I know when it's personal to us and we're going through it, we want the whole world to be sad with us, but life actually keeps moving for a majority of the world, even though your day is going bad. So I throw my hands up to it and I don't budget off his child support, but I do make sure I track it. I do make sure I know every routing number when it hits my bank account. And at the end of the month, I print out my bank account statement. I can see how much he didn't pay. I mail it into the courthouse. They do it from there. I didn't have to miss a day from work. I didn't have to, reschedule someone else to pick my kids up because I got to wait downtown in a long line. Figure out how you can access your cases online. We're living in 2023. Just about everything is on the computer. You can file restraining orders, injunctions, child support, contempt of court, everything online from your computer, some of it from your phone. So I throw my hands up to thinking that you can make someone responsible to the fullest extent just through a piece of paper, but you damn sure can keep your foot on their neck. Because one thing I won't do, if I bust my ass to raise my kids, you won't prosper while I'm doing our work, just me. So if I'm a sit and struggle, we're both going to sit. We're both going to be right here. And as they grow and I get better and we grow, we're all going to grow together. But I don't think it's right to ever give anyone a free pass on not raising the children they put here. I'm going to dive into private schooling. For Andre, he is now in private school this year. This year for him is 10th grade. The culture at private school for him is a shocker. It is like him being placed on Mars. He feels completely outside of his body. He comes home every day with new stories. Some are funny and some are things I've never been able to understand. But I would love if private schools were more accessible in the terms of scholarships and funding for the mass public, for kids who want to go there or educationally deserve to go there because they're testing well or mentorships are recommended. But as a single mother of 5 at the time when Andre was wanting to go to this private school, the school he was going to, there's a lot of gang activity. There's a lot of, it was just rough. It was rougher than what my child was. And he knew it. He felt it. And I felt it. And I tried to get him in the best place possible. But to sit there in administration and they tell you, oh, your child is great and they are smart and they are well-mannered and we'd love to have them here for a fee of $25,000 a academic school year, which means that's just August to May. That is more than college. In-state tuition FSU for my kids is like $6,500 a semester, which is a semester. It is 20 grand and some change. And they got the nerve to charge $25 for lunch. For lunch. I don't know if they consider public school kids like poor, like broke of the broke, but public school kids, they passed a law that no public school kid pays for lunch. None. They don't care what your academic your parents' financial background is. If you go to public school in Orange County, Orlando, Florida, your lunch is free. There is no child that is ever sitting in that building and just says, "Oh, my mom didn't pack my lunch, so they eat nothing," or "Oh, my mom didn't pay the school bill, so I eat nothing." There are hundreds of kids in Andre's school every week that do not eat because a lot of parents do not have the $25 a day. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's $125 a week for lunch. If it's $25 a day. Yes, it is an endless choice. Like they have a lot of selections and coffee and chai and those fruit barista bowls. I get it. It's a lot of options, but I just wish it was more accessible to the masses. And I wish I might start something on that, teaching moms how to get scholarships and funding for private school, even if you're not in those areas or it's not considered accessible. Like for me, I've known no one in my life who's gone to private school ever. All my cousins, every friend I have went to public school. We got on that yellow bus. This school is so bougie. They don't even have a bus. Every kid who goes there knows they have a parent that picks them up and drops them off. Every kid who goes there knows that they don't pack their lunch. They pay $25 a day for lunch. I get it, but I think what's considered the good life, a softer life, should be available to everyone, and that includes children. And I think if you want to get your child into a private school and there's funding available, I want to figure out a way that it's more accessible to everyone, because swallowing 20 to 25 grand for a semester year for a 10th grader to go to 10th grade, this is the same child I reminded if he brushed his teeth yesterday. I don't pay 25 grand for nothing this year. I didn't pay nothing this year I bought was 25 grand. It's crazy. Me feeling happy and whole, but everyone else around me thinks I need a man, or I should date right now, like as in on our lunch break. I should be walking hand in hand with Brandon down the street somewhere because it's what I need. It's what I'm lacking. And it's showing, Ariel. It's showing. I don't get that. I don't get why women cannot be single, make good money, raise their kids, and they're not seen as whole. But if a man does it, he's a bachelor. He's glorified. He's a pimp. He is desirable. But as soon as a woman just closes off the aspect of needing someone else in their space that's not their children, or hell, I've seen boss bitches have good jobs and good money and have a dog in their purse. That is comfort, okay? I would have a dog if I didn't have so many kids. I can't wipe another ass. I can't teach nobody else how to use the bathroom. That's it for me. I just want to know why I'm not seen as whole. Like, this is the happiest I've been in a very long time. I'm finally comfortable in my own skin. My kids finally do not see me crying over things that are unfixable. And we have a good relationship, and we're together often, and we're whole. And now everyone's just like, oh, the only thing missing is a man. The only thing you need is a man. I don't get that. I don't want that for myself right now. And I'm not saying men are bad. I'm just saying right now where I am content in my life. And I know me opening up my home as well as my children to a man would be a big learning curve for all of us. Or maybe I'll just date for fun and not ever bring him around my kids. But what if he really likes me and he's like, oh, I want to take this to the next step and I'm not there? Like, then I have to hurt his feelings when I knew I shouldn't be out here in these streets anyways. But I'm only out here because all of y'all pushed me out here. So it's like, I don't know. I'm not a lesbian. Let's just clear the air on that. I've had some DMs about if I am a lesbian, if I'm interested in the other side. I can't even say no confidently. I can't even say that I'm not a lesbian confidently because I am a girl's girl. I am quick to say, wow, she's beautiful. Her ass looks nice. Her tits sit up really well. Wow, I wish mine did that. I just don't please women in the bedroom. And it's not because I don't want to. I just never have done it. But I'm not dating on either side of the fence. And I'm happy where I am right now. But if that changes, I will let you know. And if I feel like I want a man or a woman, then I'll let you know. But right now, I am content. And I need you guys to stop judging women's happiness based on if there is someone else in their Valentine's Day photo or not. Moving is a bitch. Getting everything you own in a box to put it somewhere else and then open that box and put it up. The way it made me shave how much stuff I have was insane.
But it's like it sucks.
Is it normal
and it's
though?
Ghetto, but I think that it also helps get rid of things because we don't get rid of things.
But I always say, I'm spring cleaning, I'm purging. The amount of stuff I've shed in 72 hours is insane.
But it's going to feel so good when you have so much less stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe like look for that. But moving is just stressful regard. Like the fact that you're here right now, y'all better be grateful. But if you have not left a review on this good little podcast,
I got dressed out of a bucket in a garbage bag this morning.
And look at that. Best garbage bag we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. No, you still made it. So I think it's hard. Yeah. But I love when like there's no clutter and I can open a drawer and when it was packed and there's nothing in there. Oh, I love that feeling. So even just maybe focus on that.
Yeah.
But it is ghetto. And it's ghetto when no one's helping and they're seeing you do it all on your own. And it's like, do you not see me doing this? Because when I moved back from Jersey, he didn't help at all. Yeah. And it was like and I was only there for a year. Packing up all these little trinkets and the cables and toys and little clothes and the kitchen.
Insane.
Kitchen stuff is disgusting to pack. Yep. It doesn't fit right in the box. Mm-hmm. So where do you put it?
We had nothing. I had to get thank you so much to everyone who's on my subscriber tab on Instagram that took the time out of your life during your holiday season and took the time to send us plates, cups, forks, a bath rug, blankets for my kids' bed. I am like insane. The amount of things that people were willing to help and shower and bless my kids with just to make sure that I had some money left over to still give them a Christmas next month. A thank you is not good enough. I promise you. I don't know if I'm going to do a big giveaway on here or on my Instagram. I'm definitely going to do something because the way you guys showed love on little things, I don't think you know how much a plunger means for 5 kids that use the same bathroom when you don't have one. How much a broom means when you don't have one. When you move into an empty house full of tile, by day 2, moving in and out, it was filled of the little dust and sand and we didn't have a broom. A lot of the things are my parents. So when we moved from our apartment, I kind of like get rid of everything that was personal to me, kitchen and cleaning wise, because they had their own. So yeah, I'm really and keep your credit up and keep budgeting and financing because Duke, Tico Gas, the cable people, AT&T,
when they ask for those
the
deposits?
Water, the deposits. They do a soft check so it doesn't hit you as an inquiry. It doesn't ding to lower your score, but they damn sure look at your credit to see if you would owe a deposit. And if I wasn't on top of my credit and on top of my budgeting, it was over $1,000. If I got hit with everyone's deposit or holding fee, it was over $1,000 just to get the lights on.
That's my baby daddy ain't gonna know his name.
No. You better fix your credit and hold it good because they're looking in all aspects, not just to lend you credit or money. Yeah. What happened between you and your siblings? And I think they're talking about...
Your siblings?
Mine.
Oh. What happened?
Unless something happened. Ooh. The way you lie with a straight face is concerning.
What happened?
Everyone is my sibling, but they are referring to Instagram. They're talking about my 2 younger brothers from my household that I was raised in. Mm-hmm. We were good up until my brother's wedding 2 years ago now.
Yeah. That was pregnant.
Was 1.
Yeah.
Owen got hand, foot, mouth. It's a little rash that spreads from toddlers, usually hand, foot, mouth, because that's how they grab and touch and everything. It spreads quickly in a daycare, like rapid, like chicken pox. And there's nothing you can really do. But the thing about hand, foot, mouth, it's for a certain age group. Mm-hmm. You don't see 60-year-olds usually with hand, foot, mouth. And they have antibiotics. It's treated at a doctor. And it was my youngest brother's wedding. So my parents didn't make a big deal about it. And they drove in my car. Everyone rode in my car to Atlanta. I sat on the floor for 11 hours to get to a wedding. And my brother was just so nice, nasty when I got there. Yeah. Mind you, my brother didn't live in Florida. So I didn't tell him that my son was sick. And he wasn't sick. He had a rash. He's a baby. Like, he has a rash.
That's pretty common.
And he was clingy at that age. So it wasn't like I was just passing my baby around. He gonna go play basketball and touch it. He was in a car seat. He didn't move. He was covered in like that calamine.
That lotion, yeah.
And he took 3 naps a day. He was barely there, but I still wanted to be present. And both my daughters were flower girls. because my brother thought that I was like spreading COVID at his wedding, he told me that my daughters are no longer welcome in the wedding, which they practiced for a year and a half for, and I bought those dresses outright.
I remember you showing me the pictures.
Let me find 2 girls that I'm gonna sell them today.
Oh, you still have them?
Yes.
Oh.
We never wore them. We were uninvited.
I thought you returned.
No, I'm still angry.
Yeah.
But
as you should.
Long story short is that my son had a rash, but since all of our family in Florida, my household rode together in one car, my brothers thought it was appropriate to treat my mom bad. And when I say treat my mom bad, they did things like his soon-to-be wife's mom was going to dance with my brother on the first dance instead of my mom because my son had a rash. And said, yeah, well, you rode in the car with him and I just don't know if you have it and we have to keep all of our guests safe. Mind you, he's a dentist. Didn't you go to medical school? It's a rash for babies. Children. It's a pediatric time frame rash. And I even offered, let mom and dad go. Let the girls go in the wedding. They've been practicing all year. Yeah. I got their hair done.
I can't imagine turning away.
We traveled. Yeah. We got a hotel. We ain't got no food. A tiny little fridge. We are struggling. I left my struggle bus to struggle worse. And then we struggle worse and disappointed out loud.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone basically was kicked out of the wedding. And because I have Instagram and I have family members that knew that the rash couldn't be spread to them and actually said, yes, Ariel, you may sit next to me so we eat dinner. My brother began to aggressively text all of our family members and say, you can't come to my wedding. You can't come to my wedding. Mind you, everyone traveled here. And everyone is now getting kicked out of a wedding for an 8-month-old who has a rash on his asshole that is inside of a diaper, inside of shorts, covered in powder and calamine lotion, and no one touched his butt. And he couldn't walk. So yes, I did have to hold him. Yeah. But it wasn't I didn't understand.
Either way, it shouldn't matter. You told
my parents paid for the What's that reception you have before the wedding where all the bridal party gets to a bridal shower? My mom paid for that. That was their gift to the wedding. They would have paid for it regardless. But since they paid for it, they knew when it started. They knew the itinerary. They helped plan it. To see both my parents walk 6 blocks in Atlanta and knock on a door at an event they paid for and have your new wife's mom lean out and say, yeah, sorry, you can't come in, and then shut the door. You damn right. I lit they ass up on the internet and I told them, y'all are you're dead ass wrong.
Yeah.
And my parents, it's funny. That's where kind of the switch up came. My parents agreed with me then because they were crying and they were hurt and they were embarrassed. But because I didn't back down and then it started drama and it grew bigger than what it was supposed to be.
But you didn't expect it to go that way.
I didn't expect it. I told how I felt on my personal social media page. And at the time had 12,000 followers.
Yeah. It wasn't as big as now.
And
but either way, it's your page.
It's my page to tell how I feel. Yeah. We're in Atlanta and we're hungry and we can't go to a restaurant. None of my aunts will talk to us because my son has a rash. I said it just like that. Comical, being funny. And yeah. They kicked my kids out of the wedding. Still to this day, I don't think they've ever spoken to my daughters face to face in the same room. It's been 2 years. My daughter's Erin, I know, doesn't remember what happened. And Haley actually, I think, holds a little bit of a grudge against it. She remembers it. She remembers how she was treated. And I think these are their blood nieces. I had them young. So my first 2 grew up with my younger 2 brothers. So for my kids to be in the elevator and when it opened on our floor, because mind you, we're actually family from the same vagina. So you book one floor. So you use one elevator. When my kids got off in that elevator and they wouldn't even get on and left and took the stairs and my kids didn't know what they did, I was so pissed.
Yeah.
This was the middle of COVID. They weren't even swabbing niggas. We were worried about a baby's asshole.
Yeah. That's wild.
And because I opened my mouth and I said, this is downright wrong. You closed the parents out of the reception. My mom's walking back crying. All these people rode in my car, which means I have to stay for the bullshit because I'm your ride home.
It's the kids for me. Not you kick my babies
out. So yes,
out.
I threw my own party in the lobby and I let all my family come and we hung out, and my brother got mad saying he was going to not invite everyone to his wedding. But guess what? He let everyone come to his wedding besides my children and me, and then said that my children cannot come, even though they didn't say anything, because they are a reflection of me, and it upsets his wife to see them in the pews of the church. But now, since it's been more than 2 years, I'm supposed to be the one to give the olive branch and say, hey, it's okay that you basically told my kids that we've all lived together, that you don't love them, you don't respect them, and you'll disregard them.
And they grew up with
them.
them.
To somebody else. Yeah, they were older kids.
Like, I can't even imagine doing that, and I've only known them for 7 years. Like,
yeah, it was no problem. So now they tell me like, oh yeah, because we don't like Ariel, she won't let us around her kids. You damn right. I don't like no one who don't like me around my kids because I don't know what you're gonna do. And I don't know your intentions.
Yeah. So
that's where we are. They've been married 2 years. They have a sweet little boy. I have no idea what his name is or what he looks like, but I wish him well. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna love my kids and defend mine, but you do not get the right to disregard my kids in front of everyone that they are blood related to, and then 2 years later say, so how was your birthday? No, we're going to talk about shit in my house. Yeah. From the kids that I birthed, we're no longer going to have huge family blowouts and no one talks about how disrespectful that was. Because you owe my kids an apology. I'm a mom that says sorry.
But again, that happens a lot in a Black household.
Yeah.
Like, that's happened in our household too. People don't talk about, you know, what's going on and just try to, hey, you want some cereal? Hey, you want to... No, let's talk about what happened. If you can't
talk about it, then leave me alone.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta love people from a distance, and it is what it is.
It will be from a distance. Hi, Ariel. I have custody of my 16-year-old nephew for a few years now. There was a PFA, which stands for Protection from Abuse Against His Abuser, who happens to be a parent of my nephew. So, okay. I wonder if the nephew's parents are her siblings or her husband's or boyfriend's siblings, if she's related to the parents, since it's her nephew. The judge recently vacated the PFA, again, which is the protection from abuse, because nothing has happened since the PFA was implemented. Duh. My nephew is afraid and anxious, and I don't know what to do or how to help him. What would you do? Thanks, Anonymous. I love this. I want to let you guys know that I'm not here to out you or give anyone's name or information. So if you ever want to write in, or I'll have the email to the podcast email below. You can write us in your scenarios. It is thearielbpod@gmail.com. If you don't want to put your name, you can write that at the beginning. Don't use my name. Or you can do exactly what she said and put anonymous. I'd love to hear from you. This sounds very similar to how it is for an adult when you get a protection order or an injunction. I had an injunction against my ex for 3 years. And when nothing happens, they kind of say that the protection order isn't needed anymore. We're going to drop it. And either to keep it, I had to bring up why I felt like it should be kept or extended. But if I didn't do that within a timely manner, it will be dropped. So it sounds like this PFA is very similar to that. I loved how you put duh, because yeah, once people know that you have a protection order or an injunction against them, usually they do stay away. So hence that is why nothing more has happened. You said that you have custody of him. So I wonder if your custody gives you full parental rights and you just would no longer have to intervene with his parents, or if his parents still have access to him. I wonder if you have custody to him, do his parents still have to pay you parental support, which is child support, which is something you can still push for? Like if I just said, oh, I'm done being a parent and my parents get custody of my kids, my parents can come after me for custodial support, which is child support that I would pay to my parents to raise my kids. I wonder if his parents can pay you child support. And I only say that because with child support, you could also get time sharing, which is visitation. And then you can ask for supervised visits. So maybe the 16-year-old can still have a relationship with his parents if that's even what he wants. But at least you as the new custodial parent can know that it's being done supervised in good taste, and nothing more physically or mentally abusive is going to happen to him. My nephew is afraid and anxious and does not want to do or how to help him. Yeah, I would reach out to whoever you got the PFA from. I wonder if it was given by like a Department of Children and Families, or if it was a certain floor in the courthouse, wherever you live. I would go back there Even if it's about to expire, there are always ways that you can extend it or try to get it for a longer amount of time or adjust it, like I said, and make sure that any contact between him and his previous abusers is supervised. I would really look into that. And again, with you having custodial rights, I would waive that. I would waive that strong and proud and do whatever you can to protect that child. Because it's only 2 more years till he's 18. And a childhood should be safe, and a childhood, should be whole. And I'm happy that your nephew feels safe with you. I'm happy that you guys have a good relationship. It looks like he told you that he's scared and anxious, and it looks like you're involved as an aunt and you are stepping way out of the roles of what an aunt does. And I just want you to know that you are appreciated. You're doing the right thing. You should feel comfort and strength in that. But I would look into whoever you got the PFA from, figure out if there is a way to extend it, and figure out a way, if there's no way to extend it, that his visits with his parents can be supervised. And I would start there. Please email me back and let me know how it goes, and let me know what the courthouse says if you need any more help. Again, this is not legal advice. I'm not an attorney. I'm not here to represent anyone legally. I'm just letting you know how I've handled situations in my life that correlate with this story, and advice that I think may help. This one's coming from @golden.wavy with 2 Y's on Instagram. How do you do social media stuff? I would love the extra money, but I feel too boring. Boring is your lane. Boring is, and maybe you think it's boring because it's not typical of what everyone else is posting, but boring is exactly what I did. I do not have a fancy house with the clean white cupboards and the self-closed drawers. My kids slam them all the time, and I just want to take the hinges off. I don't have a refrigerator that is always clean. It is literally half peanut butter on one side. I didn't even clean it before I left. Nothing in there is organized. The floor is not swept. The laundry is not done. So to me, that looks boring. I'm just another mom being eaten alive by housework. But your boring might give somebody else motivation. I never knew that me saying, I left a domestic violence relationship, even though I went back, but I finally got the courage to leave, would give someone else the courage to go. So maybe your boring is something that someone else is looking for. What's that saying? Keep it weird, stay true to yourself. And you may only think it's boring because someone else isn't interested in it. But if you're doing it every day, it's not boring. It's serving a purpose to you, whether that's meditation or keeping you calm, or you like all your fabric a certain way, or maybe you're just a regular person who lives alone and goes to work. People nowadays live very differently, and people nowadays are nosy, and they just want to watch you and see what you do. Oh, I like how she folded her clothes. Oh, she put her hair tie a different way. It's the little things. I don't think anyone's looking for you to recreate the wheel. I just think people, or an audience, is looking for you to be you and stay true to yourself. You follow people because there's something of interest to you. So even though you think it's boring, I guarantee you it won't be boring to somebody else. Just stay consistent, stay true to yourself, because if you pretend to be someone you're not, you're going to burn out. But it's really easy to be exactly who you are. I have my kids here. I don't know what you're going to get. I don't know how it's going to roll, but hopefully they're honest, give their insight and their intake. And I love you both for being here. Before we even get started, just wanted to throw that out there.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Waiting for not such a long pause. Thank you for that. How do I deal with my boys versus my girls?
You can.
Andre would say I'm very easy on the girls.
Oh my God, yes.
What?
Yes,
Haley
y'all get away with a lot more stuff than us.
Haley still thinks I'm pretty hard on the girls. The only thing I really get on my kids about is listening. There's nothing else. I'm not really on them about anything else. They can wear what they want. They're free to say what they want, even though it might, 90% of the time, it's going to come out rude. I do let them just give it to me how you feel, but it's the listening. Sometimes, like when we're all out in public and it's just me and everyone's going 5 different directions and we're already being watched, I'm just like, come on, let's like stand together. Like we got out the same car. We don't have to all touch the aisles and the floor and the microwaves and the counter. It's a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I used to be an ass whooping mom with a belt because I was short on patience. And I don't whoop anymore. Andre think that's not fair. Andre thinks I should.
It's absolutely not.
It's absolutely not fair.
Andre and Haley think I should go back and whoop the younger three because Andre and Haley got the young, rowdier version of me.
There's no way we grew up with a belt and they just get their phones taken.
Bro, forget
Who
the
has
belt.
a phone at 8?
For real, forget the belt. Like we would get whooped with a flip flop. like, bro, you need to bring back whoopings. And we would tell you that, we're too old. Like a phone taken away and like a slap is great, but like
I will take that.
Yeah, facts. But like the younger ones,
the belt still holds fear.
No, you need to bring it out.
It doesn't hurt that much anymore.
So then that's what I'm saying. Why am I going to hit them? If it's going to grow up, it's not going to hurt anymore. And they just see me as like,
but
because it's not fair.
No,
it's not fair.
But they're young. We're over the age of 10.
Okay.
You need to be whooping. You need to be whooping.
You think it'll improve the house?
I'm a whoop. I'm a whoop.
You're gonna whoop your kid?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a whoop. I'm a whoop.
Haley, you're not gonna have no kids still?
Cause that's
not for you.
That don't do it again. That stern talk, that take away stuff, that doesn't do anything.
I think gentle parenting does work on gentle kids. And I think it definitely depends on the child. Haley is someone that I can discipline by yelling at, and that's always affected her, even when she was little. Andre, my boys, they're rowdy. They'll keep going. I had Terrell antagonize me through the bunk beds and keep running. I'm going to catch you. And when I do, you're going to regret it. But yeah, we don't really do physical hitting anymore. My older two think that I should bring back corporal punishment for the younger children.
So chase me through the car.
It was like 10 years ago. Let it go. Let it go. Like, move on. It was a decade ago.
No. I'm a whoop. That's all I know.
I'm a whoop.
I'm a whoop.
You. How do you feel about a relationship with your dad?
I really don't need one because, like, you're perfectly fine. I'm not used to a second parent because he hasn't been in my life. And, like, I've done so many things without him because he's not in my life. I've had good grades since first grade. Mm-hmm. I try out for, like, all the sports teams except track.
He's not a runner.
And I've just done so much things without him, and I feel like the connection would be weird. Like, I do, like, love my siblings and all that, but, like, the connection would be weird because he hasn't been in my life for so long.
What's something connection-wise that your dad does to you that makes you feel uncomfortable?
His names.
They don't know what we're talking about. What about his names make you feel uncomfortable?
Okay, so I'm about like half Hispanic and
about
like
half. Yeah, that's about right. That's a good number.
And he wants since he is my dad, he wants me to call him Poppy.
What about saying that just makes your skin what? How does it make you feel?
It's just so weird. I don't even call him dad. I call him by his first name. Uh-huh. And like it's
just
so
give it a try.
weird.
Let me hear it roll off your tongue again.
Poppy.
My 3-year-old says bad words. He does. He is a parrot. So if I say the F word in about 6.2 seconds, he's going to yell it from the back seat. Not with anger, not with intensity, but he's going to repeat it. And it's a mimicking stage. I've recorded it and posted it. So many people could relate. And then so many people also at the same side said, oh, that's a bad mom. Or you shouldn't curse. You should have said it a little lower so he didn't hear you. Or, oh, you recorded it and posted it and you're embarrassing your baby. My baby can't read. My baby doesn't have social media. He doesn't have an app. He doesn't have anything. He still uses my bed and I bought him one. How was he embarrassed by people he doesn't know? How is he embarrassed in a situation he won't remember? Tell me one thing you remember from 3. Oh, wait. Nothing.
It was so funny when the kids finally saw them because their reaction was our reaction too.
When I first walked in, because I'm not trying to be funny, but sometimes, I know everyone's going to troll me for this. Sometimes you can see people in their attire and you can still see the face. Okay.
I already know what you want to say.
So when you walk in, I'm already on 100. I'm walking in to meet a single lady that I don't know. A single lady. And when you swing open the door and it looks like Christmas morning and there's just eyeballs.
But it was just Auntie Biba that was like that, because everyone else.
At that time, Nafisa and them, all of them.
Really?
Yes. It was just you guys. And when I noticed, I brung my kids around probably the next day. I think
you came the next day.
I came back the next day. I brung my kids. It was all clear. They didn't want to cut me or rob me, and I was safe, and my suburb friends were treating me wrong. I brung my kids, and I think I tried to like introduce it to them a little bit. I think I said something like,
I don't even know.
You weren't with me, but I think I was like, it was hard. They were so young then.
Yeah.
Like Andre was what?
Like 7?
He was maybe 6, 7. So they were young.
Yeah,
so the smartest person out of my pack was in first grade.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, they're a little different. They wear clothes a little different. My son was ecstatic. Andre got back in that car after we hung out for a couple hours and go home. He said, wow, we're ninjas.